Sup YouTube, and today I'm going to be talking to you about Egypt. Well, some of you may be asking, what is Egypt? Well, Egypt is a culture that was known for its way of living, way it worked, and many other systems. Well, Egypt is one of the most interesting histories in the whole world. You may be asking why. Well, that's what I'm here to talk to you about. Well, Egypt was one of the most known countries for its way of living. Well, you may be asking why. A lot of people ask that, and a lot of people are still asking that. Well, they had a mummification thing where they took their dead kings and they mummified them, which is where you wrap bandages over a dead pharaoh's body, and after that they would put them in a sarcophagus. Well, a sarcophagus is melted gold, which they are famous for in a weird way because they live in the desert. Well, some parts weren't desert, but still, they lived near and in a desert. It was technically a dry land. Well, you may be asking how they lived. Well, let me get back to a sarcophagus because I just dodged that questioning. Well, the way that they thought was if you put a bandaged dead body inside of a sarcophagus, that would come back to life. Well, that's not the way it worked. Only if life really worked that way. Oh, well, they sat there and they said, let's think about the way we are going to start our religion and the way we are going to start our beliefs and the way that we are going to begin our civilization and make it. Well, the way that they made their civilization was they saw a river, or they actually found a river. And again, Egypt is not all dry land, but when their ancestors got there, they actually said, let's find some land, a river, because we're in a whole entire desert, and we cannot find civilization without it. So they traveled, and of course they had to stay somewhere because there was a lot of wild animals there. Well, they eventually came up on a river, and it's one of the biggest rivers in the world, actually. That's weird, ain't it? Well, they built their civilization, and they started their own culture. Well, when they built their civilization, it became a huge population. They settled down, had a couple kids, and again, this is a kid, not again, but this is a full kid appropriate YouTube channel. Well, I had a couple kids, settled down, and then they started making people in power, such as the president. But there was not presidents in the Egyptian culture. There was kings. Well, you may ask why. That's because most people believe that if you had a king, that you would be one of the best countries in the world. And Egypt was. Well, what Egypt believed in was a very weird way. They believed that if you are a pharaoh or a king, that you're immortal. Well, a lot of this came because if you double cross, disobey, or break the law, that your king would be able to punish you in many different ways. One of the ways that an Egyptian king would punish you was he would torture you. He would literally put you in a torture chamber where many people will come and whip you with rope that was made from very, very, very strong vines. Well, these strong vines were one of the toughest vines in the Egypt population, or not population, but the Egypt area. Well, the Egyptians were whipped and they were forced to do the pharaoh's bidding. Well, what they did was they built statues of them. They were forced to mine gold and silver, which they used for their sarcophagus. And I want to jump into something real quick. The way that Egyptians actually built sarcophaguses was weird. Well, what happened was they took a rock, a big old boulder, and they carved out a rock and made like a body shape. Well, they put a huge slab over it, and they didn't put the slab on before they put the body in. Well, they put a huge slab over it, and after that, they would sit there. Well, geologists went to go investigate a pyramid, and it is said that that could be an interdimensional time traveling thing. Well, that they say that could probably send you to a different dimension, which I highly believe, because we all know that we're not the only beings in this galaxy. Okay, well, after that one geologist figured out, and they actually did a little mini experiment with it. They took a tiny pyramid, put it on this spinning thing. Well, when he put it on the spinning thing, he started to spin it as fast as it could go. The pyramid seemed to float up in the air and go somewhere in the corner. When this dude investigated, or when the scientist investigated, he found out that it was pointing to the belt of Orion. Well, they said that geologists believe that there are extraterrestrials that may live in the belt of Orion. And is it coincidental that all of the pyramids are made in the formation of the belt of Orion? Well, that's weird. Well, they have these things that they would put in a pyramid. They would put steps up to the thing, and it had a glass thing, technically like a telescope, and it would be pointing up to Orion. It would have a laser in it. Ask me how they got a laser. I don't know. It's weird. Anyways, they got a laser type thing, and it pointed directly to Orion's belt. That's weird. That's not supposed to happen. That's abnormal. No. They believed in gods, and yes, Egyptians have the most definite, interesting history that I could ever know about. And thank you guys for listening. This is something that I enjoy. And if you want more videos, please subscribe, comment down below what you think I should teach you next. And if you do subscribe, I'll give you a shout out. Anyways, again, this is a kid-friendly YouTube channel, so there will be nothing dirty. So if you think that your kid cannot watch it, I'm just telling you now. Now, you can show your kids this if you're one of them teachers that teach about Egypt. I am only 12. Well, actually, I'm 11, but I'm about to turn 12. Anyways, but yeah, that's it for Malachi's Learning Channel. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.